Senator Coram, you're going to start. You have 30 seconds to ask a question to your opponent. Congresswoman, you have 1 minute to respond. Senator, you also have 1 minute to have a rebuttal. And then, Congressman, you will have 30 seconds to counter rebuttal. So we're going to do that. We'll offset each question. So, Senator Coram, you'll ask the first question. You'll ask the next.
Thank you. Are you aware that the waters of the state of Colorado belong to the people of Colorado and not the federal government? Therefore, the Ed Committee, the Natural Colorado Water Conservation Board, the state engineer are the ones that control the products that you are taking credit for. So, nice try, but not enough. Are you aware of that?
Is that your question, Senator?
Yes.
So I'm proud to have stood for water, and absolutely at a federal level, I have an obligation to secure our water. And Obama's WOTUS deal was terrible, and I applaud President Trump for reversing that. But now Biden wants to reimpose waters of the U.S. back on Colorado's 3rd District. So I am proud to take a stand, and I don't mind getting out of my lane if someone else is interfering with our livelihoods right here in Colorado's 3rd District. For years, Colorado and the West have suffered from drought, and I support increased water storage projects like the Wolf Creek Reservoir and worthwhile delivery projects that will supply clean water in dry times. I am fine working with state and local officials to make sure we have the water resources that we need. I have filed several appropriation amendments that were signed into law that redirected millions from wasteful spending in bills to combat drought in the West.
Senator Coram, you have 1 minute to respond.
Well, I thank you, but the truth is the state engineer is the rule on water in Colorado. If you want to change the water right, you go to water court. You don't go to the federal government, you don't go to Congress, you go to the water court. So this is a little bit of grandstanding, and I understand that, but it is not a fact.
Congresswoman, you have 30 seconds.
Well, I have been to Water Congress, does that count? And if there is no authority in this seat for water, and that is something that you are claiming to champion so much, and you are saying that there's nothing that can be done from a congressional level, then sir, why don't you go and be a state engineer so you can have control of all the water issues in Colorado? I think you don't, because you know that Congress has a say in what happens in our water, in our natural resources, and the good people in our district. And I will fight for you and your water each and every day.
Senator, I'll give you 30 seconds to respond.
Colorado has the federal government has an obligation in the Colorado Water Compact. What happens inside the boundaries of Colorado is controlled by Colorado, the Groundwater Commission, and all of that. So be glad to educate you on that if anybody wants to.
Congresswoman, your question now.
Thank you. Don, information proposed about you at corruptcoram.com is absolutely facts, facts, facts. You are corrupt, sir. You used your political office to pass legislation to line your own pockets. But the greed, it goes far beyond your greed. The corruption that has taken place in our school kids is off the charts. You voted to give 10-year-olds psychotherapy without parental consent. You forced LGBTQ sex education in our schools and mandated abortion be taught.
Please ask the question.
Any comments?
Order.
Well, let's talk about the facts. Let's go to Paul Harvey again. First of all, the voters of Colorado passed Amendment 64 in 2012. The General Assembly, Senator Swartz and I put the Department of Agriculture into the regulatory side. I raised my first 6 acres with 3 other people in 2017. And that was about 6 acres of 27,000 acres that was planted in this state. You are absolutely false. And if you want to talk about corruption, let's talk about you. You yourself have been indicted. Not indicted, but in under investigation by the NBC and Congress.
Order.
Your husband received $1 million because he's the finest oil engineer.
Thank you for working so hard, babe.
Congressman, you have 1 minute to respond.
Look, Don, that's real cute. But no matter how you spin it, the facts, the articles, the votes, it's all at corruptcoram.com. So everyone here can see how corrupt you are and how you've corrupted our children. And it gets so much worse than that. You are one of only 2 Republican state senators to vote to restore funding to the Healthy Kids Colorado government survey. A whole bunch of Republicans voted against this bull crap, but not you. No, the survey says, ask 10-year-olds, are you transgender? Ask 10-year-olds, how old were you the last time you had sexual intercourse? The last time you had sexual intercourse, did you or your partner use a condom? The survey asks 10-year-olds, have you ever forced someone to have sex with you when you knew they didn't want to? I dare you to ask my kids one of these questions. And I'll tell you right now, the government and you surveying innocent 10-year-olds about sex and rape is gross and perverted, and this disgusting grooming needs to stop.
The education bill was a mandate put out by the 42 and 20. And we brought that back to where it is not a mandate. It is a local school district that makes those decisions. There's 8 of 178 school districts that participated in that. And that is local control. If you don't want local control, don't have local control. But if you want control of your school, so that is grandstanding, and we'll see how this works out.
Thank you. Senator Coram, you field the next question.
Thank you. Let's talk about water again. We're in the Colorado Compact that we talked about this earlier, and that was done during a wet time. Now we're in one of the driest times. So where is your position on water as a public trust?
So like I said, water is very, very important to us, and I am a strong advocate for protecting local communities' water rights and keeping our water in the 3rd District. That's why I opposed RWR's proposal to steal 7 billion gallons of water per year and dry up over 22,000 irrigated acres in perpetuity in the San Luis Valley in order to benefit the Denver suburbs. I am aggressively working to remove invasive salt cedar and Russian olive trees that are guzzling water. Each consume 200 gallons of water per day per plant. This is a problem, and we absolutely need to be putting our people and their water rights first. That's why I protect private property rights above all else.
Thank you. Senator Coram, you have 1 minute to respond.
I think that's a great answer, but it doesn't answer the question. My question is, where do you stand on the public water trust? Public trust of water. Where do you stand? Do you support it? Yes or no?
I would have to look into this more to That's okay. There are many issues that I tackle right there in Congress, but anything with the title public in it, I would definitely have to look into, because I don't think the federal government ever has helped anyone when they say I'm from the federal government and I am here to help. So anything that would be more invasive from the federal government, I would be against. But sir, I will certainly look into this and I'll get back to you.
Thank you.
All right, the last question goes to you, Congresswoman.
According to Mason County Sheriff, 4 grams of fentanyl is enough to kill 2,000 people. And until you got involved, Senator, possession of 4 grams of fentanyl in Colorado was a felony crime. But on May 3rd, 2019, you voted to decriminalize possession of 4 grams of fentanyl. Now fentanyl is the #1 killer of 18 to 45-year-olds. Care to comment?
Absolutely do. I worked with Sheriff John Cook, Senator John Cook, president of the Colorado Sheriff's Association. And the bill that came out was totally decriminalizing. And so that was a situation where we put a ceiling on of 4 grams. And it was absolutely way too high. We knew it. But to go to the numbers, 41-24, that's what we could get at the time. This year we came back and we came with 1 vote of taking fentanyl 0 grams as a felony. Anything, one gram, 1 over that, 0, anything over 0. is a felony. We gained 1 vote. It was changed to 1 gram, and frankly, that's still way too high. We need to work on it, because frankly, that will kill 500 people. Fentanyl is something that is here. It is now, 2019, it wasn't on the radar that much. And you know what? It's a vote that I regret, but we had to make a stand somewhere. And if you make the first effort to try, thank you. I will honor your stop.
Congresswoman, you have 1 minute.
Sure, I certainly stand by my votes and don't regret them because I read the bills and understand them. But what I heard, sir, is you are corrupt, you've corrupted our kids, and your votes are literally killing people. Denver's chief of police, who asked about you decriminalizing fentanyl, said that the effect is people are dying. And before you voted about it, you were warned about it. CBS 4 reported, quote, many district attorney generals begged lawmakers to carve out fentanyl when they passed this in 2019. But you voted yes. And you know another thing that you voted yes for was to remove qualified immunity from our local law enforcement. Not only are they more in danger from the illegal invasion that is taking place in our country, but right here in Colorado, our law enforcement officers no longer have qualified immunity because he voted for an anti-police bill. But hey, maybe with this decriminalization of fentanyl, maybe I'm not understanding it completely, and there was alternative motives. I'm thinking maybe you were worried about being prosecuted as a felon yourself for selling hot hemp. 7 lab reports show you selling at THC level. Order.
Hold on 10 more seconds, Congresswoman.
Thank you. 7 lab reports showed you selling at THC levels that qualifies as a Schedule 1 narcotic. That makes you an illegal drug dealer with a vote that maybe changed that. Sounds corrupt to me and sounds corrupt to the Gazette. That's all.
Senator Coram, 30 seconds.
Oh, thank you. This is fantastic. First of all, the police bill that's referred to was a total anti-police bill. Once again, I mentioned Senator Cook, and he and I worked with the Fraternal Order of Police, and we changed that bill, and we put 27 amendments on that bill, and 34 of 35 senators voted for it, and I have been continually thanked by the Fraternal Order of Police, and in my district, we're not having any trouble finding police officers.
Thank you for